how did you kind of assess the play today?
It's kind of is the game plan today. I mean, it was just to go out and be patient and give yourself opportunities. Beginning of the week, the prep felt great. Didn't really see many putts go in, and it was nice to see one go in on 4 from like 30 feet, and that just kind of got the round propelled from there.
Is there anything comforting starting a season knowing that you have like an end to the season more this year? Now I'm asking you to look like 9 months ahead.
What do you mean?
It's about having an off season coming up for like the first time in your PGA Tour career.
I thought it did, you know, before we started the season in the fall. But in reality, like, I still want to play golf, you know, and, you know, I got to focus on this season. If I start thinking about the off season, I'm going to put the brakes on, and, you know, we're going to be in August and I'm not going to be in the playoffs. You know, I don't want to look at it like that. You know, I think in the history or I look back at golf in general, for me to play since I've been a junior, you know, you've played all year, and there's still going to be tournaments to play. There's still going to be things you're going to play in. But, you know, the meaning wise, you know, maybe it's a little different. Maybe it's more like how we looked at it in college per se, of like, you know, you just have this amateur event or you have this fall event. Everything's meaningful, but, you know, for me, I've just got to focus on kind of now, you know, especially where I've kind of put myself so far through the season, starting the fall.
Yeah, sorry, that was the most getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you were specifically working on these last few weeks that you were able to successfully put in play today?
There's a lot. Worked on my swing with Rick, kind of positionally, just making things a little more simple. You know, for me, it's always been kind of just feels. Where do my hands feel in this right position? Try to get it there, and that's, you know, you take 2 weeks off, and feels versus reels are a little off. Been working with Stephen Sweeney a bunch on putting. Speed control was a big one. You know, I think today I did a pretty good part on that, just kind of dripping them in, having really good speed. I think I had 1 or 2 putts that were just a little off. And then, you know, I'd been talking with Parker McLaughlin a little bit about short game. You know, we worked last week in Hawaii, and just kind of figuring new things out. You know, the reason why I hit my irons so good is because of that bowed wrist and how I come through impact. Just makes chipping really tough, and it's good to have someone that knows a lot about short game, and you just kind of bounce ideas off of.
How'd the new driver work out?
It's great. You know, driver's tough, and 3-woods are tough, and woods are tough, and we got to do it every year. But TaylorMade came out with a really good, you know, driver, Stealth 2, and for me, it's all about. It's really, can I get my lie angle right so I can get center of the face? And then can you get the spin and launch and everything? Obviously, that's the entire ball flight of the driver. But I really found a nice sweet spot, I think. And I'm sure you'll tweak here and there. But I'm really happy with how, you know, I kind of saw the ball flight today, especially, you know, I was hitting driver on the range yesterday. I was getting a little spinny in the Pro-Am. So it was nice to see kind of tournament speed, how things kind of played out. I got it 2 months ago, maybe, and it's funny because like I was working with the head. I was working actually with a really high lofted driver. Go on my honeymoon for 2 weeks, come back, and I can't hit it, and I was just freaking out a little bit. But we made some tweaks when I got here to Hawaii, and it's not that hard when you really just copy what you had before. And you know, I played the sim driver for quite a long time, and in reality, if you just kind of match it as close as you can to that, it's not going to be far off. And that's kind of what we did. And, you know, I've got a 9-degree head, 1 click up. My sim was an 8, 2 clicks up. Same exact shaft, same shaft that I've been using, and you just kind of roll with that.
Obviously, you came into last year thinking that you would have a good year. You did have a good year, but you didn't get everything that you wanted out of it. Did you change anything in your process in your head about how you were going to approach this year after last year?
I think just the work ethic I was going to put in, you know. It's not that I was lazy. It's not that I wasn't doing things. But, you know, just by hiring like Stephen Sweeney, right, for example, hiring a putting coach where, you know, Rick wasn't specialized in, hiring someone I can bounce ideas off of. I mean, towards the latter part of last year, I was kind of using JJ as my bouncing board, and he's very good. Don't get me wrong. Like, he knows golf. But sometimes it's nice to hear, you know, an explanation or a way to do something from someone that specializes in that. So it's really just putting a game plan together, whether it's my mental game, my swing, my putting, my warm-up routine, everything. It's to just simplify everything, but just really have a laid out process of what I need to do. And if I just kind of check those boxes every single day, it's going to get easier and easier. And that's where I was for a while when I first turned pro. And then something catches up, and the body doesn't feel right. And then you just kind of go into a searching mode. But I'm just kind of checking those boxes off as we go and just let things happen.
When did you bring your putting coach on?
We worked the first week of Mayakoba. So we met each other the first week of, what was that, November? Beginning of November, I think.
How did you hook up with him versus someone else?
Yeah, it's a great question. To be honest, I asked a lot of questions at our TaylorMade photo shoot. I was asking Tommy, I was asking Rory. All these guys have different putting coaches. I've talked to Max Homo a bunch, just kind of, not a bunch, but just kind of sneakily, asking them questions, what they think of their coaches. And they're all great guys. I mean, you see them week in and week out. And you got to vibe well. For me, it was like, how do you have that balance? I mean, some guys are very technical. Some guys are very free-flowing. I felt like Steven was kind of that perfect mix where I needed to understand technical from the very start. For that and chipping, like I want to just pretend like I knew nothing about it, teach me the basics, and then from there go. So he's been able to kind of blend in both, and it's been amazing. Like it really has. Every question I have for him, he has an answer. I tend to talk too much, and I tend to answer my own questions sometimes, but he's standing right there to say yes or no, and I have full trust in what we're doing. Yeah, I think it's something that we'll kind of see. He's not someone that's going to travel on the road, but it's someone that I can kind of talk to and, once again, bounce ideas off of. I've never had a chipping coach, and we're not here to get too technical. It's just to kind of have feels and, once again, have someone else bounce ideas off of, someone that I trust, see how it goes. So it's been working, but it's someone that, throw ideas at and have an answer. Yeah.
Do you feel like you filled every hole you need to be successful this year?
For right now, yes. I think I have the team I need, and it's more than I've ever had, and that's two more people. And some guys have way more, some guys have way less, but I feel at ease. It doesn't feel like I have to overstretch myself to find answers. It doesn't feel like I have to work harder out there. It's just now I know what I'm doing. Now I know an actual drill that I might need to do if I didn't do something or I'm doing something well, to just kind of reinforce things.
So before you say you know what you need.
Yeah, I just have answers. Before when I was putting, it was just like it was guesswork. I might have putted well today and then thought I was doing something, but in reality it was something else. I go back to what I did, my putting thought for what I did when I won the PGA, and it makes sense when I see it in the lab and I see things and when I talk with Steven. But what I did was not really the actual cause of why I was putting well. I thought it was, and it worked for a short period of time, but we've seen that consistency on what it was like. So we're here to just kind of be a little more consistent on the entire game.
Thank you, Collin.
Thanks, guys.